Oh, yeah. That's a patch. What's good with you guys? I'm going to show you how to make some crazy fire sounds of your own in Logic Pro. You can use these concepts in any DAW, but most importantly, it's free. So let's get into it. All right, so we're going to start with the default patch, the classic electric piano. That sounds like this. Okay, so tip number one to get this to sound fire. Turn off the reverb and effects by just turning off the power buttons on the buses. Just turn that off and turn that off. And now you have just a clean Rhodes with no reverb. A lot of people don't know about this. You can actually use your modulation wheel here to turn on the panning. And what you could do is you can adjust how much you want by turning up the modulation wheel gradually. All right, bring it back down. So that's a cool effect. All right, so the next one, we're gonna apply processing on the channel strip of this same patch to make it sound more lo-fi. Let's check this out. So what I'm gonna do is start off with some EQ by just clicking the EQ button. And then we're gonna do a little low cut. Okay, and then we're gonna do a high cut, and then we're gonna just bring this on down. All right, and this gives you kind of like a muffled effect. So we're gonna turn the panning back down by using the mod wheel again to get more of a focused sound. Okay. So after we have this EQ, then we're going to add some more processing, and this is all going to be stock plugins. Once again, we're going to come down to modulation, and then we're going to go to scanner vibrato. And what this is going to do, we're going to turn this all the way down, this depth knob. What this is going to do is give us a little bit of that lo-fi wobble. So let's just add some gradually. All right, you hear wobbling? So that kind of gives you that nice lo-fi effect. We're going to come down here to imaging, and then we're going to go to direction mixer. And then we're going to put this even more down the center like this. So we could try this with one more Rhodes patch. So now that we have this, I came down here to electric piano, the plugin itself. And then I came over here to bright suitcase. And that sounds like this. And this also has the same plugins that we have from the previous channel right over here. So that sounds like this. We can add some phaser to this and make it sound even more interesting. All right, and I have patches like this in my Logic Pro Lo-Fi template. I have the link in the description for that. Trust me, it's so much value in there. Let's apply the same concept to a piano. So we're going to pull up a empty channel strip, and then let's hit create. And then let's come over here to piano. All right, so we're gonna do this one. We'll do the Yamaha Grand Piano. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna turn off the reverb and effects. Then we're gonna come over here to our mixer, and we're gonna borrow some plugins. So we're gonna get the channel EQ. You can click on the EQ, hit the option key on your keyboard, and drag it over, and you can copy and paste the EQ. We're gonna copy and paste the scanner reverb, and then we're also gonna copy and paste the direction mixer. Okay, and then for the direction mixer, we can kind of make this more narrower. cool. And now we're going to alter the patch. So we're going to come over here to the sampler. So let's come over here. Let's go to the sampler. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to shorten the release, which is this icon right here. So that's a decent amount, like right there. And then we can come over here to the scanner and turn the depth up just a little bit. All right, and that's how you can get a sick piano getting that same lo-fi effect. Now, as a bonus for the piano, we can go into the tape delay and we can turn some of this up, the wetness, just a little bit. We don't need a whole lot. We could turn the flutter rate up and the flutter intensity and get some crazy sounds as well. And once again, this patch is in my lo-fi Logic Pro template. All right, now let's get into some bass. I know this is what you guys came here for, the bass section. So we're gonna open up a new empty channel strip, and then we're gonna come over here to instrument, and then we're going to pull up Alchemy. Now, here's the path that you can follow to find these types of patches. So if I'm looking for a crazy synth bass, like a sub bass or a Moog bass, I'm going to start with the category, which is bass. Then I'm going to come over here to sub. And from there, you can kind of find what you're looking for. So I found a fire bass patch, and it's called Deep Sub Bass. So I'm going to take you guys in for the deep dive. So you want to come over here to your advanced, and this is where I do most of my tweaking. So in this advanced section, you have your attack, hold, decay, sustain, release. We call that the ADSR stuff, or the HDSR. So if you want more of a longer bass, you can turn the release up and it'll sustain. And this gives you more of an 808 feel. Then you have your glide, which is kind of nice. This is how I would set it up legato. That's the best way to do it. Now let's get into the more complex stuff and let's make it simple. These are your oscillators. You have 4 oscillators. They make it simple: A, B, C, and D. So we can activate the second oscillator, which is B, and right now it's set to additive. This is what it sounds like. Turn it all the way up. All right, let's turn it down. All right, so what you could do is you could get creative with this. So you can change this. You can load a VA from basic, complex. You got all kinds of stuff to mess around with. So we're going to do the basic to keep it simple. So it's already a square bass loaded up. So let's do a saw bass. And let's turn this up. And it beefs up the bass. So you can take this, the semis, the tune, you can take this up an octave and blend these two together. Turn it down, turn it back up. So by adding an octave with a different oscillator, this will not only enhance the bass sound, but it will also help the bass cut through your mix. So you can layer this up with more oscillators if you so choose. We're going to stop right here just to make it simple for you guys. So we have our bass patch, the deep sub bass. Now we're going to talk about plugins, adding plugins on the bass. So I'm going to come over here to distortion. Then we're just going to do the basic distortion. With this all the way up to, let's say, 2800 hertz, and let's turn this drive up. It's going to be pretty loud. So we're going to turn this output down. This is what we get. Ooh. So I'm going to show you how to use distortion as a saturation tool to get your bass to cut through the mix. Ooh, that's nasty. And once again, guys, this bass is included in my Lo-Fi Logic Pro template. And I also have some fire basses in my clutch patches, linked below for both of those. Let's get into some 808s. Go through the directory again and do that same path. So bass, and then we're going to do sub, and then let's get into an 808. So let's check out this 808 mutation bass. Then let's come over here to the first distortion again. And then we're going to add even more drive to it. And let's do about like 360 hertz. All right, so that's how you can get some crazy 808s in Logic using stock plugins. Let's check out some of the synth pads, and let's just go through a couple of them. All right, let's pull this up. So here's what we have. We have the access codes. This is fire. What the heck? All right, so what you could do is play around with the ASDR. Now, it's a little different on this one. You have these little box icons to control the attack and the decay and all of that. So we're going to come over here down to the release and move this down, and then we're going to do the same thing for this one. Now you got more control over the patch. All right, this is a fire patch right here. This is called HyperLead. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in me going into the deep dive of these synths. I'll be more than happy to break these synthesizers down. Let me know in the comments. And so same thing, you can come over here, turn this release down. Then what you can also do is put like a long attack on it. So we're going to move this up. Make it a little longer, more drastic. So let's say this one. So put the glide on, and then we're going to turn the glide time up. Ooh. Oh, yeah. That's a patch. I love you so much. I'm going to give you another bonus. Let's talk about some drums. We're going to come over here to where it says library, all sounds. We're going to go to beat tape. So you want to make sure that you have the additional kits downloaded. As you can see, I don't have them all downloaded. There's more to go through. But I like these two kits. So I like this chopped up kit. This is crazy. And this is in the Drum Machine Designer. You get all these fire patches. All right, so you got all kind of crazy drum one-shots in here. Like, bro, like you get a legit snare roll. Got a nice snap. And since we're on the topic of drums, I'm going to give you another bonus tip on top of the bonus tip. So let me show you this. So here's how you can take this big old track stack and convert it into just the one shots that you use. So let's do a quick pattern. Okay, cool. So we have this crazy pattern now. You can hit the letter C to turn on the cycle loop and hit spacebar now to just loop over this. Or you can do Command U and that'll also loop around the region that you selected. And you could just do Control click and we're going to do separate by note pitch. And now it chops them all up and gives you the individual one shots that you use. Now, the next bonus tip I'm going to give you is how to get ready to mix this. So what you could do is close the Drum Machine Designer up, the track stack. Then we're going to right click on the track stack and then we're going to do flatten stack. And now what this is going to do is give you the actual individual tracks of all of the one shots. And you can literally use these in different pitches if you want. You get access to the full range. So let's say to the hi-hat. This is the native pitch, but you can go lower for all of the patches. And then once you're done, then you can select all of the tracks that you used after you're done, of course. And you can bring these all up right here. And then now you can delete or hide the instruments that you don't want to use. Now, I recommend you just hide them so you can hit the letter H, and then you see the H icon show up on all of these tracks. You can hit, click on the letter H, and they turn green. So now when you hit the letter H again, boom, they're hidden. If you got some value out of this video, feel free to smash that like button for your boy, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on those bell notifications, especially if you're a Logic Pro user. And if you want to check out some more fire tutorials, check out these videos right over here.